Hi guys, in this beginner friendly tutorial, I'll teach you how to draft a basic Bodice pattern, the foundation of nearly every advanced and snap design you've ever admired. Whether you want to create a contour bodice, bustier corset, it all starts here. So you'll be needing what I showed you just now, and you'll be starting with your top line. You can use your ruler, you can use 2-inch or 1-inch, just get a starting point. And then the next thing you do is to come down by 9.5 inch, which is your bust point, from your shoulder to your bust point. After you measure your shoulder to your bust point, you just draw a straight line. So we are trying to take out all the vertical measurements first. So the next measurement is from your shoulder point to your half length, which is also called your full front length. I'm just going to measure what I have. My full front length is 15.5, and then I'll just mark out 15.5 and draw a straight line. Okay, so I just want to add to this, your full front length, which is your half length, is different from your back half length. Back half length, some people call it nape to waist, is different because at your front you have your bust, you have bust at your front, but at your back you don't have bust, so which makes your full front length longer than your back half length. So the next measurement I'll be taking is the length of my top. You can make it a gown if you want, but for me I want it to be a top, so I'll be using 22 inches. So you can take out what you have and mark it. So I'll just mark it. After marking it, I'll draw a straight line. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is to just label. This is the top line. You can also call it the shoulder line. Then for my bust point, which is from my shoulder to my bust point, I'll just label it as my bust line. And then from my shoulder to my full front length, which is my half length, I'll just label it as my waistline. I'll label it as my waistline. Then I'll just label it as my waistline. Then the next thing is from my shoulder point to the length of my top. So I'll label it, I'll write it as my top length. Yeah, as my top length. If you're using a gown, you can write your gown length. It all depends on what you want. So the next thing is to get our neck circumference. So for our neck circumference, I'll be using 3.1. It depends on what you want to use. You can use 3, but I'm using 3.1. I'll just make a box after marking 3.1 as the neck depth and the neck width. I'll make a box shape. After making a box shape, the next thing you do is to make a curve around the neck circumference. So I'll be using my curve ruler. Use the curvy part of your curve ruler, and you place these 2 points to meet each other, and then you just draw it as so. So this is your round neckline. Yeah, this is how to get your round neckline. So the next thing we'll be doing is to measure out our shoulder. So my shoulder is 16 divided by 2. I have 8 inches, so I'll just place that mark 8 inches there. So if your shoulder is 15, use 7.5, you divide it by 2. So the next thing I'll be doing is to come down by 1 inch, which is to help me get my shoulder slope. Yes, you come down by 1 inch because our shoulder line is not straight. After coming down by 1 inch, I'm just going to join these 2 points together. So this is what I have. So the next thing I'll be doing is to get my chest line. So for my chest line, I'll divide my bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So I had 7.1. So I'm just measuring from that 7.1 so it to be accurate, so I can draw a straight line. So after doing what I just did, getting my 7.1, I'm just going to draw a straight line across, and then I'm just going to label it as my chest line. Yes, this is your chest line. Divide your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. That's how to get your chest line. So the next thing I'll be doing is to bring down that 8 I have down on the chest line, and then I'm just going to mark it. There are actually 2 ways of doing this. So it's either you bring down the measurements, what you have as your shoulder divided by 2 down, or you measure your across chest. My across chest is 7.5, so I just brought down 7.5. On my shoulder point, I have my shoulder divided by 2. On my chest line, I divided my across chest divided by 2, and then I marked it, and then I just connected the lines. After connecting the line, the next thing to do is to measure what you have divided by 2 on that straight line. You divide it by 2 just like how I did it, and then you mark a point there. After marking that point, you come out by 1/2 inch you come out by half an inch on that same point you marked. So the next thing is to use your curve ruler. You use this curvy part, you let these 2 points meet, and it should sit on this chest line. So when these points meet each other, you just draw a curve like this with your curve ruler. You draw a curve. So this is what you have after drawing it. So I'll just measure my bust circumference, my round bust circumference. I have 36 divided by 4. I have 9 plus 2 extra inch allowance. Please note that your round bust circumference is supposed to be on your, it's not supposed to be on your bust line. It's supposed to be on your chest line and not on your bust line. So don't place your round bust circumference on your bust line. It should be on your chest line. So the next thing is to take our waist dart. So for our waist dart, I'll divide my nipple to nipple by 2. I'll divide my nipple to nipple, divide by 2. I have 7 divided by 2, I have 3.5. So I'll just place it on my bust line, my waistline, and on my top length. After marking out this point, the next thing I will do is to draw a straight line. After marking out that straight line, the next thing I will do is to take my waist dart. So for my waist dart, I'll be coming out by half an inch on both sides, and then on that bust line, that line, I'll come down by 1 inch downward. I'll come down by 1 inch. After coming down by 1 inch, I'll just connect these lines, these points. You mark them and connect them together just like how I'm doing it. Please do exact same thing. I'll be showing you how to sew your basic bodice. So after doing this, I'll just reconfirm my measurements. My bust circumference divided by 4 plus 2 extra inch allowance. On the waistline, this 1 inch, that make sure you add it back. So I have 28 as my waist. 28 divided by 4, I have 7 plus that 1 inch, that's 8 plus 2 extra inch allowance. I hope this is clear enough. So yeah, after doing that, for my top length, I'll measure my hip measurement. My hip is 38 divided by 4, I have 9.5 plus 2 extra inch allowance. So whatever your hip is, you measure it and then you place it plus 2 extra inch allowance. Yeah, so for this down parts, because your hips is not straight, use the curvy part and then you draw a curve around there, and then I'm just going to label it as my 2 inches seam allowance. And yeah, this is your front basic bodice. I'll just label it so you can know your front basic bodice. So okay, so before drafting out your back basic bodice, we are going to take the side dart. So for the side dart, you minus your full front length minus your back half length. Like I told you earlier, it's not the same. So my full front length is 15.5 minus 14. I have 1.5, and on that point, I would mark my 1.5. I'll go out from that line of my nipple to nipple by 1 inch. You go out by 1 inch, and then that's just to reconfirm. I have 1.5 there. So after marking out the 1.5, you connect these 2 points together. This 1 inch you came out from the nipple to nipple point, and the measurement you got from your full front length minus your back half length. So yeah, mine is 1.5. You find the midpoint in the 2 points, and then you just draw a straight line there. After finding the midpoint, you draw a straight line. So I'm just going to extend that line to my seam allowance line. I'm going to extend it. Yeah, so that's what you do. That's how to get your side darts. We are doing it so that the purpose of this is so that your bust can be balanced in your clothes. So I'll come down because I want the curve at the down part. I'll come down by 1 inch. I'll go by 1 inch rather. I'll go by 1 inch and just draw a curve around that area. So yeah, if you want it to be straight, that's fine, but I want mine to be curved. And then I'm just going to cut it out. This waist dart right here is a game changer. This is what transforms your flat fabrics into something that fits your body like magic. A lot of people skip this part, but please don't skip the basics. You need these basic bodies because this is what helps you to cut your contour and your corset. So yeah, for this, I'll just fold it the 1.5. I'll make it to meet this place, so you see the outcome of how it looks like when you are sewing your outfit. So assuming we've joined it, this is how it's going to look like. You can see, so your bust can relax into it very well. Your bust is going to relax into it, so there'll be no pointed edge there. It's just going to relax on your bust. So this is what it looks like. So let's get right into the back pattern. So for the back pattern, I'll mark 2 inches for my zip allowance. If you want to use 1.5, that's fine. But for my back zip allowance, I always use 2 inches. Line downward, and I'll just label it as my zip allowance. So the next thing we're going to do is to measure from our shoulder line to our bust point. So I'll be using 9 inches in this video. In the front, I use 9.5. You can use the same thing, or you can take out ½ inch. So you mark it out. My 9 inch, I'll just mark it out, and then after marking it out, I'm just going to connect the lines. I'll draw a straight line. So the next thing we are going to be placing, next measurement we're placing is from our shoulder point to our back half length. My back half length is 14 inches, so I'll just place it. If your back half length is 15, make sure to place what you have, but mine is 14 inches. That's why I'm using 14 inches. Please don't use the same thing if you've not confirmed your measurement, please. Okay, so the next thing we'll be doing is to get the length of our top. So to get the length of the top for the back length, we use our front basic body that we've already drafted. So you measure from that waistline to where it stopped, to the length of where it stopped. So I have from this waistline, just as you're saying, I have 6.5, which is 6.5 also. So I'll just measure from my own waistline now, 6.5. So it's just going to be the same. The reason why I did this was because, just like I told you, the front basic bodies, your front full length and your back half length are not the same. So I'm using it to wait to get exact same thing I used for the front. So one will not be longer than one. So yeah, after doing that, I'm just going to draw out a straight line. Please don't forget, use your front basic bodies to get the accurate number for the back basic bodies. So after doing that, I'm just going to label it as the top length. So I made a mistake when I was labeling. I wrote chest line instead of bust line, so I just corrected that. So the next thing we're going to do is to get our neck circumference. So I use 3.1. Please note that the measurement is from the line of that zip allowance, after that 2 inches. So I marked my 3.1 as the width, and for the depth, I'll be using 2 inches for the depth. I'll be using 2 inches, so I'm just going to mark it and create a box. So after creating a box, the next thing I'll be doing is to use my curve ruler and then just draw a curve from that point. Let those 2 points meet. So after doing that, I'm just going to extend it down to my zip allowance. After extending, this is what I got. So this is how it's going to be like. That point, that extra 2 inches is going to go inside. So the next thing I'll be doing is to divide my shoulder divided by 2. So I have 8 inches. So after marking my 8 inch, I'm just going to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Please don't forget, this shoulder slope is very important. So I'm just going to connect it just like how I connected it. You connect it as so. So to get your chest line, what you do is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So after doing that, I had 7.1. So that's 7.1. I'm just going to draw a straight line on that point of 7.1. I'm just going to draw a straight line. So I'm just going to label it so it's going to be clear enough. BL the bust line and CL as the chest line. So for this chest line, what we are going to do is what we had as our shoulder, that's your shoulder divided by 2/8. You're going to reconfirm it and place it on your chest line. So I had 8 as my shoulder divided by 2. So I just connected it. So I connect it as so. You measure what you have on your shoulder point and you place it on your chest line. So you divide that line, that straight line, you divide it by 2 and you go in by ½ an inch. You go in by ½ an inch, just as how I did, and then you connect those 2 points together with your curve ruler. Please let the curve come out very well. So the next thing we're going to do is to take our waist dart at the back part, the back basic body. So you divide your nipple to nipple divided by 2. So I had 3.5. So I just marked the 3.5 on my chest line, my bust line, my waistline, and the length of the top. So after marking it, I'm just going to draw a straight line and connect it just like how I'm doing. And then you go on the waistline and then you take ½ an inch on both sides. You take ½ inch on both sides to get your darts. So after getting these darts, you are just going to connect. You're just going to connect the points like this. So this is what you are going to have after connecting it. Please make sure that the points hit each other. Don't forget to like and comment I'm learning, and subscribe to learn how to turn these basic bodies into a bustier and a corset. In my next video, I'll be showing you how to make these outfits. with this basic body. So the next thing you'll be doing is to measure your bust divided by 4 plus 2 extra inches as seam allowance. So don't forget to add these darts back to your measurement. So I have 7, that's 28 divided by 4. I have 7, I made it plus 1 extra inches, that's 8, plus my 2 extra inches seam allowance. So I measured my hips also. I placed my hip measurement and added 2 extra inch allowance. So I'm just going to connect. Don't forget to use straight line to connect this point from your chest line to your waistline. Use a straight ruler and use the curvy part of your curved ruler to connect from your waistline to your top length, please, because you have hips and your hip is not straight. So I'm just going to label it as my seam allowance. Please comment I'm learning if you watch this video to this point. So yeah, that's how to get your back basic bodies. Please kindly share this video so it can reach other people, so YouTube can help me push this video to more people and they can learn how to draft their basic bodies in as much as they are beginners. And this is the first step to getting a perfect outfit. So while I was cutting, I mistakenly cut out this zip allowance. So this is your zip allowance. Please kindly like, share, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. In my next video, I'll be showing you how to use this basic body to make a fitted top for yourself with this basic bodies pattern. Guys, don't sleep on this basic bodies pattern. Please, from this basic bodies pattern, you'll be able to sew other outfits. I'll be showing you how to cut contour and your corset through. Guys, just like that, you've unlocked the secret foundation of every stunning outfit you've ever admired. Please kindly like, share, subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more exciting detailed tutorial. And if you're a beginner, please stay on this channel because you'll be getting all the tea. So yeah, see you in my next video, guys.